Well, let's talk about your style, because it is very unlike a lot of coaches in the NFL. When we start businesses, we talk about core philosophy, core values, and building your company on that. And those are things that don't get enough attention sometimes when you start a business or you run a team. What do you set as your core values, your philosophy, and can you take us through your leadership style?
Let me start this way. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you out there, well, let me say this first. Does everybody really feel like they've won pretty much in their lifetime? You kind of win, things are going pretty good. Do you kind of feel like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, raise your hand if you feel like you're a winner. Come on, raise your hand. I'm sorry. Somebody did it. Well, really, y'all can win, and we win by doing good things, and every now and then things come together, and sometimes you have some years, or maybe even a couple years in a row, where you had really successful years, and you really felt like you were on your game, and things were going well. Well, and then things changed, and they weren't quite as good, probably. But if you had your way, wouldn't you really choose to win from now on and actually just kind of win forever? Huh? Can we raise your hand to that one? Amen? Same guy back there. My God. Well, let me say this to you, that you have proven in your own lifetime that you know how to be successful and win. Well, we all have done that. But you want to win over a long period of time, which is really the vision for our program. We want to win forever. From now on. I know better than, with all that we've done, that you can't win every single game forever. Now, we went for a while now, and we fooled them. We were 30-something, whatever it was, games. We showed that you can go for a real long time, but it's really difficult to win every single game. And winning forever isn't about that. Winning forever is about maximizing your potential, finding out how good you could possibly become, and then holding on to that vision, having a clear thought of what that is, and work until you create that. You will not back off until that happens, and until that manifests right before your eyes. Well, that's a way we look at it. That's in essence a philosophy for us. Well, let me ask you this: everybody out here, high class students at USC, kicking butt in the Marshall School, raise your hand if you have a philosophy. Raise your hand. Look around. Look around. See how many hands there? Okay, put your hands down. Okay, now, of those people that just raised their hands, how many of you can stand up right now in 25 words or less and tell me what that philosophy is? Raise your hand. Look around. What just happened? There's a couple. I'm not calling on you. Yeah. Check this out. Y'all just said that y'all want to win, you like to win forever. And you're all in this business here at SC, and you've all got your sights on being highly successful, and you're going to be that way. If you want to win for a long period of time, there's no way you have a chance of doing that if you don't know how you won sometimes. If you don't know what it took to get your game together, to get your act right, to get your mentality right, to create that successful manner and way that you had, then how can you expect to repeat it the next year and the next year and the next year? And it's so obvious to me that you have to be clear about what your philosophy is, exactly what you're saying. We don't spend enough time on it? Yeah, no kidding. We don't spend anywhere near the time on it. It is what I spend all my time on, is helping people understand that you do have a philosophy. You just don't know it. And I say that to you because you're acting, you got a world, you got a life, you got a way you're working. The guys that are in business already, you're already doing it. You just don't know what it is. And think about this. If you're going to be successful, don't the people around you have to be successful pretty much also? Those that support you? Well, if you are a business owner and the people around you are unable to know what your philosophy is, how could they possibly act in accordance with what you think is important? If you don't know what it is, how can they know what it is? They're supposed to figure it out? That ain't competing. That's just leaving it up to chance. You need to know your philosophy so clearly that you can convey it on a regular basis so the people around you can act in accordance with that philosophy. You need to know it so clearly that they live it along with you. If you don't know it, you're not even sure if you're living it or not. If you don't know it, you don't know when you're not living your philosophy. You're not acting in accordance with the way you want to operate. This is, of all of the things, it is the most important issue. You got to figure yourself out. You got to figure out what is important to you. If you could get it done in your class, you're probably the only teacher in this university that's doing that. You have to figure it out. I was fortunate enough, and I speak so strongly about this because I did figure it out. And I was smacked right between the eyes with it when I was reading Coach John Wooden, the basketball coach from the other school, his book, and it said, and I had known his history. I'd grown up in California, but after his 16th year at UCLA, he won his first national championship. I slammed the book, shut right down. Holy because I knew the rest of the story. He won 10 of the next 11 national championships at UCLA. After this is how I interpret it, he figured it out. He knew what it took. Finally, after 20, 30-something years of coaching, 16 years at UCLA, winning conference championships, having success, he finally figured it out so well that nobody could touch him for 11 years. Then he quit. He retired. One game, 1 year, somebody beat him, or he'd have won 11 straight. That's how powerful it is to know what you're all about. It didn't matter what decade he was coaching in, what coaches he had, or what players he had. It was him. He knew it, and he could get people to operate in accordance with that philosophy because he knew it so well. Any of you ever read or study about him, just take a little bit of time. You're going to realize this guy he's got this way of thinking that's it's extraordinary. It's unique. It isn't me. I couldn't do him. I never wanted to. I just needed to figure out my own philosophy, and you do too. You have to work at this. As you're young and you're just starting, there's no way it's going to be the philosophy you're going to wind up with most likely. But the essence of it's already there. Who you are is already in there. You need to figure it out so that when you come to your competitive world, which I kind of think it's all of your world, but when you come to your competitive world in your business, or if you want to be a really good dad, you need a philosophy. If you want to be a really good mom, you want to be a good husband, you want to be a good friend to your friends, you want to be a great corporate leader, you need to know who the heck you are and what you're all about. You need to know what you think about it. That's what the essence is. And of setting yourself up so that you have a chance. You're going to screw it up. You're going to make mistakes. You got to assume other people's ideas until you get your own. But you have to ask yourself the serious questions to figure it out. Now, I'll take it one step further. The step further is, as soon as I slammed that book closed, I was living up in New England, and I'd been about 6 months in retirement. And I said, it took him 16 years. The next job I get, I might not get 16 months. I better get my act together. So what I did is I couldn't wait. I just started writing everything I could think of about the job of being a football coach. And every single little issue that I could think of that you could make a decision on, I made a decision on. And I wrote it down. And this took me weeks to get through everything I could think of. I just kept leaving notes to myself. Don't forget to come to an agreement with yourself about this, and this. And out of that came, wow, I'm a competitor. Shoot, I compete at everything I do. I've been doing it my whole life. That's how I've lived. I don't want to just do well in football or as a football coach or as a dad. Shoot, I want to kick ass right now tonight for you guys. I don't know any other way to think. Well, if that's the facts, which I agreed with myself, that there is some talking with me that took place, that needed to be the central theme in our program, competition. Go and do things better than it's ever been done before, popped out of that. Our football philosophy, when I talk to the football players, they don't hear all the stuff I'm telling you. They see it. They live it with me. But the football philosophy, it's all about the ball. It's a whole concept about turnovers and how we win football games. It's the most important issue in coaching football to me. All of these things, our style, we play with great effort, great enthusiasm, we play smart. All of the things, our 3 rules, on and on and on. All of the things that have become so central to our program came out of that next couple of weeks writing down stuff right then. And I haven't changed since. I really haven't altered. I've just gotten better at it, getting better at teaching the message. Because what I have to do as the leader is to teach my coaches first so that they can live it and they can exude all of the mentality, be disciples, and pass it on down through the players so we can have a mentality and a conscience, a way of operating that separates us so that we're not, like Jerry Garcia said a long time ago, we don't want to be the best ones doing something. We want to be the only ones doing it. I like that thought. I like that thought. Get yourself your own way, your own style, and then separate from the rest and leave them behind and never look back is really how we've done it.